Georgia Tech goes international. Yes, sir. The transfer portal, as y'all know, has closed. But it does not mean Georgia Tech is done adding people from the portal. They added a guy from Germany in Davi Remagen. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. But an elite get for Georgia Tech, 6'3", really good wingspan, nice size. And this past year in the next gen EuroLeague, averaged 15.8 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, and 3 assists for them. Right, played in the German Pro Basketball League this past year, averaged about 9.9 points, shot about 49% from the field, 31.3% from three, averaged 1.3 steals, and also averaged about 3 assists per game. Another really cool tidbit too, he's the great nephew of soccer legend Pele as well. So he comes from obviously a great, not just sport, but or basketball, but he comes from a great sport background, man, of just great genes. And obviously being able to play at a high level, if you obviously a great nephew of Pele, that says a lot, to say the least, man. So what kind of happened this past year for him? He obviously played, like I said, in the German League. I talked about his numbers. Continued to improve as the season went along. But when you watch his tape and you kind of study him, he could do a whole bunch of different little things. Obviously here on SI, I talked about that. First off, I'll just start with his defense. Very underrated defender. As you know, defense was a problem for Georgia Tech last year with the basketball team, especially on the perimeter. I think they got a really good player in Jaden Mustaf, who's going to be that player that can guard the other team's best perimeter player, offensive player every single night. But still, you need another wing. So that's why I think Georgia Tech's going to probably add one more piece. Then they're going to add maybe a 1-2-way wing to go along with it. But now you get a guy that can defend at a high level at the point guard position, to say the least. One that can poke steals away, create easy transition buckets as well on the offensive end, and really lay it up and get that ball out to Peyton Marshall, get that ball out to Bay Dongo, and let them boys do work. Now, offensively, what he brings to the table. So I like his ability to catch and shoot, y'all. Like I said, you go look up the highlight film and the tape. His catch shoot is off the charts. He don't mind as soon as he catches the ball putting it up. He's not wasting a lot of the shot clocks. I think last year they struggled a little bit with over dribbling, just too much dribbling through the shot clock, winding it all the way down. This guy's a get it and go. Like he'll do 3 or 4 dribbles, put the shot up, or he's getting it back out to a teammate. He's not hogging the basketball. And that also lays into, obviously, with his ability to be able to spread the floor, right? So remember, this year, like, Georgia Tech also struggled with shooting. I don't think they'll have that problem with him. I think he's going to continue to improve. And remember, he played in a pro league. So I think his shooting percentage will be better. He's comfortable from beyond the arc. And now they'll have a whole bunch of guys that can pretty much shoot the basketball with him and Cam Kraft. Obviously, we'll see how Peyton Marshall look, but Bay Dongo has been improving as a shooter as well. But more floor space is going to help them, and he also can run an offense. I seen him in the ball screens, the pick and rolls, just different things like that. Just not only creating for himself, but also creating easy opportunities and chances for others. So I think that bodes well for Georgia Tech moving forward as they try to get Bay Dongo involved more heavily, often and early in games. You got a point guard that can, score and fill it up on his own, but he also can look for his teammates and play make as well, creating easy opportunities. And then with the shooting of a Cam Kraft and all the guys coming in, and also his shooting prowess, you have a guy that potentially could be, I think, the future starting point guard for them. And I think Coach Stoudemire went out international and said, hey, let me get a guy that can start and I can plug and play. With his experience already playing pro ball, Coach Stoudemire can go ahead and plug and play him immediately into the roster. And obviously his goal is probably going to be the NBA, but it only takes one season, bro. Like you see it with anybody, Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe. You just need one good season, average about 15-plus points per game. You can do that on this level in the ACC, and Georgia Tech gets back to just that relevance of making the NCAA tournament, and you make some noise to the Sweet 16, hey, he could be potentially a draft pick in that 2026 draft that no one knew, but absolutely balled out with Georgia Tech. And he could be on that precipitous, kind of trajectory. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I definitely think with this targeted move, he wants somebody that he can plug and play now as he develops the roster with a Kai Fleming and Brandon Stores to go along with Eric Chatfield as well, man. But a really good get. I give Coach Stoudemire a B+ with this pickup. I think it makes Georgia Tech better. And I think they got, a pretty strong potential point guard in hands. And like I said, good size at 6'3". He can dunk the basketball, defend, and he also can play make. So he does a lot of things well, man. But that's my thoughts. That's my reaction, man. Tech lands another big-time addition in the portal.